Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Live Oak by Jason Isbell. This is part of my ongoing series where I'm listening to songs that come from albums that are on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. And this song comes off of this album, Southeastern, which is number 458 on the list. In the last video I did for this song, which was Traveling Alone, I did read that little about section from Rolling Stone magazine, and so we're going to jump right into this one. I did mention in the last video that I have heard Elephant and Cover Me Up already from this album as well. Both fantastic songs, and then I really enjoyed Traveling Alone as well. So hopefully this one is also another great song with Live Oak. Let's go jump right in, like I said, and let's listen. Here we go.
The man who walks beside me is who I
Like
used to be.
late. Let's get it.
And I wonder, there's a man who walks beside me is who I used to be. And I wonder if she sees him and confuses him with me. And I wonder who she's pining for on nights I'm not around. Could it be the man who did the things I'm living now? I was rougher than the timber shipping out of Fond du Lac when I headed south at 17, a sheriff on my back. I'd never held a lover in my arms or in my gaze, so I found another victim every couple days. But the night I fell in love with her, I made my weakness known to the fighters and the farmers digging dusty fields alone. The jealous innuendos of the lonely-hearted men let me know what kind of country I was sleeping in. Well, you couldn't stay a loner on the plains before the war. When my neighbors took to slighting me, I had to ask what for. Rumors of my wickedness had reached our little town. Soon she'd heard about the boys I used to hang around. We'd robbed a Great Lakes freighter, killed a couple men aboard. And I told her, her eyes flickered like the sharp steel of a sword. All the things that she'd suspected, I'd expected her to fear, was the truth that drew her to me when I landed here. There's a man who walks beside me, is who I used to be. And I wonder if she sees him and confuses him with me. And I wonder who she's pining for on nights I'm not around. Could it be the man who did the things I'm living now? Well, I carved her cross from live oak and her box from short-leaf pine, and buried her so deep she'd touch the water table line, and picked up what I needed and I headed south again. To myself I wonder, would I ever find another friend? There's a man who walks beside her, he is who I used to be. And I wonder if she sees him and confuses him with me.
Wow. I love that. I really, really love that. Man, that was an absolutely fantastic song. Lyrically, vocally, instrumentally, everything just hit that right note for me. That was absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to talk about this one. Let's break it down piece by piece, like we always do. Of course, starting with the lyrics. Now, I do want to read this about section for the song itself. It does say here that Jason wrote this song about the type of life he lived before he got sober and who he was after he quit drinking. Isbell says, I quit drinking, I got married, I cleaned up my life and became a citizen, an adult, really, for the first time, and you have concerns when that happens. Obviously, a lot of things get a lot better for you, but you also wonder about what you're going to lose. Live Oak came from that anxiety over wondering what about me is going to be different. Will it be things that make me less interesting to people? Things that my significant other liked about me? Am I still going to be any fun? Thinking about all that, I created that character and allowed him to behave in a way that I thought he would naturally behave, but it was based on personal concerns of mine. Okay, I think that makes a lot of sense when you really look at the lyrics, and we're going to take a look at them right here. But it says, let's see, there's a man who walks beside me. He is who I used to be. So very clearly he spells it out, right? Like there is someone who kind of is always with me, right? That maybe darker side of me, the person I used to be is kind of always with me. And I wonder if she sees him and confuses him with me. And I wonder who she's pining for on nights I'm not around. Could it be the man who did the things I'm living down? So, yeah, I mean, he tells you kind of in that first verse, right, that he used to be one way. He's sort of changed. Of course, that person still lives sort of inside him or beside him in this case. But there's those doubts, right? Like, did she fall in love with the old me? Does she still love the new me? That kind of thing, right? And he says as much right here. And it says here, and I wonder if she sees him and confuses him with me. And so I wonder if she still thinks of me as that old person, right? That older person, the person I used to be, or if she thinks of me as this new person, or again, some sort of like combination of the two, right? So I was rougher than the timber shipping out of Fond du Lac. I don't know if I said that right. When I headed south at 17, the sheriff on my back. I never held a lover in my arms or in my gaze, so I found another victim every couple days. So essentially, like being a dumb teenager, right, running from the law, just growing up in a rough way, and I think never really settling down, right, just going from person to person. But the night I fell in love with her, I made my weakness known. Through the fighters and the farmers dig in dusty fields alone, the jealous innuendos of the lonely-hearted men let me know what kind of country I was sleeping in. So essentially, like, um, again, he fell in love with her. He sort of made it known that maybe he was an alcoholic or that he just had these issues, right? Um, and then like as he finds that love, it's like other people start sort of judging him, and that kind of tells him what kind of crowd he's keeping, right? Well, you couldn't stay a loner on the plains before the war. My neighbors took to slighting me. I had to ask what for. Rumors of my wickedness had reached our little town. Soon she'd heard about the boys I used to hang around, and sure enough, I mean that happens growing up in a small town. Everybody knows your business, unfortunately, right? And so just rumors of who he used to be kind of reached her, and she finds out like he used to run with a pretty rough crowd. We robbed a Great Lakes freighter, killed a couple men aboard, and I told her. Her eyes flickered like the sharp steel of a sword. So obviously, he mentions a character, right? So this is not literally him. Like it's sort of metaphoric for the things that the things he used to be. I doubt he actually killed a few men on a freighter and then admitted it in a song. And I told her her eyes flickered like the sharp steel of a sword. All the things that she'd suspected I'd expected her to fear was the truth that drew her to me when I landed here. And so again, like he shares his dark past with her, and she seems to be kind of okay with it. Right? It was the truth that drew her to me when I landed here. She was looking for someone to be honest with her, and he was honest, even though the honest truth was pretty dark. There's a man who walks beside me. He is who I used to be, and I wonder if she sees him and confuses him with me, and I wonder who she's pining for on nights I'm not around. Could it be the man who did the things I'm living down. Well, I carved a cross, and I actually want to come back to that for a second because it sounds like, he met her when he was still doing, maybe not so good things, and so it's like, and she's still with him, right? So again, it's like, does she like that old bad boy me, or is she with me for me, that kind of thing. Well, I carved a cross from live oak and a box from shortleaf pine, and buried her so deep she touched the water table line. I picked up what I needed and headed south again. To myself, I wondered, would I ever find another friend? So again, in this story, she dies from something, right? One thing or another, and it's like you sort of lose that piece of you, and again, being that loner, being that kind of that rough around the edges guy, it's like, am I ever going to find another person like her? There's a man who walks beside her. He is who I used to be, and I wonder if she sees him and confuses him with me. And that's a great line. I didn't catch that on the first listen, that, she dies, right? And then, like, there's a man that walks beside her now that she's dead. It's the part of me that I killed, that old part of me that was, again, rough and tumble, rough around the edges. Man, what great writing here. And so with that, I mean, I got to give this one 2 big thumbs up for lyricism. This was fantastic. Just so well written, tells a fantastic story. Again, it's metaphoric for his life, right? That he kind of got his life together, he became an adult, but he sort of writes it as his character who is, in trouble with the law, doing things like stealing and murder, and I mean all kinds of stuff, right? So, man, what a great story. I think this told in the lyricism. So yeah, again, 2 big thumbs up there. As far as instrumentation and vocals go, I think his voice sounds fantastic here. And he's got a great voice overall. It has that sort of twang to it, but it still sounds just really, really good. Like, he's got like a legitimately good singing voice. But then on top of that, the guitar that you get throughout, I just want to kind of play it for you. Like,
there's a man who walks and I wonder who's rougher than the timber shipping out of fire.
The guitar is just soft and sweet throughout. And I was going to be okay if it was just kind of him and his guitar, right? I was like, that sort of singer-songwriter style. I'm a sucker for that. And so I was like, yeah, I could definitely just like, it's already a really enjoyable song, just him and his guitar. But then somewhere in the middle, they jump in with this like southern electric guitar, and it was just so good. I mean, here it is. And it was like, man, it sounds so good. Has that sort of, again, like that western movie vibe, but they really captured that in that guitar, and I love that little, having it kind of there, and then finish out with just him and his guitar, the acoustic guitar to kind of just to wrap it all up. Man, this sounds fantastic. Instrumentally, vocally, it gets 2 big thumbs up from me. A fantastic song. As far as replay value goes, I had mentioned about Elephant and about Cover Me Up, that those songs are, they're pretty dark, and they're kind of hard to sit through sometimes. I have to be kind of in the right headspace. They're still on my playlist, but they do get skipped if I'm feeling, kind of brighter and happier, because it's one of those where it's like, I got to be in the right headspace for that. And I would say Traveling Alone is a little bit in that vein, although I think maybe a little bit easier to listen to. I feel like this one has been the easiest to listen to, out of all of them, even though, again, it does have a lot of those darker motifs lyrically. I just think there's something about it that I can come back to this song very soon, and I'm in a great mood today, and I can come back to this later today and still be doing just fine, even though it is kind of darker. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, this has a lot of replay value for me, so for that, I'm gonna give it 2 big thumbs up. Can't wait to listen to it again. Overall, a fantastic song and another great entry in this series. This series has really made me step out of my comfort zone, although Jason Isbell, an artist that we've heard on the channel a few times before, but I gotta say, it's been very refreshing to come back to him. So fantastic song here on the series. As always, if you're enjoying the series as much as I am, and if you're enjoying the music, go support the artists, go listen to their music wherever you can. And hey, like I said, if you're enjoying the series, consider supporting the channel. Like and subscribe and comment. You can also check the description to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, or Instagram. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.